Hi Rohit.
Hi Naresh. Hi.
Hi Rohit.
Hi Naresh. Good morning. How are you?
Yeah, very good morning, Rohit. I'm doing good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great. So yeah, Naresh, I got a profile for an interview. So is it good time to speak with you?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, fine. So let's start with an interview.
Yeah.
So yeah, Naresh, can you tell me about your experience and roles and responsibilities with respect to your current project?
Yeah, sure, Rohit. So basically, I have like 5 years of experience with DevOps and build activities, and most of my experience into the building the infrastructure by using the AWS services. I have created VPCs and auto scalings and load set up the load balances and creating Lambda services like that. So basically, I made use of different services in AWS like EC2, S3, EBS, and S3 bucket and AMIs and taking the snapshots. So and also I have come across DevOps tools such as like Jenkins, Nexus, Bamboo, SonarQube. So and other build tools like Bitbucket and Git. Okay, and I was involved in actually installing the Jenkins from the scratch and doing different job configurations based on the customer requirements. So and also I have involved in the production deployments. So basically whatever the setup I have done, so using that pipeline we used to deploy to the lower environments and higher environments. So this is what my uh, current roles we are on in the project. We are working
Okay.
on that. Yeah.
Okay. So why we need Git and what makes Git unique from other version controls like SVN and all?
I think like uh, basically Git is a distributed version control system, but wherein SVN is like a centralized version control system. I would say like Git is in Git everywhere. Like in most of the companies are adopted Git because compared to SVN, Git is more advantageous, and Git has the commonly used version control system in nowadays. Like basically it tracks the changes, whatever you make the files, and you have everything. It will be recorded, and also you can also revert back to the specific versions. And also it's very easier to make collaborations within the developer changes and allows multiple changes by the developers, and it's very easy to merge the changes to the higher branches.
Okay. So let's say I have a Maven repo cloned on my local workspace and I have done some changes to that. Okay. Now
Mhm.
I have built the code now. The target folder will be generated, right?
Okay.
Hello, you got my point.
Yeah, got it.
Uh, I'll just repeat the question again if you
Sure.
would. So let's say I have a Maven repo clone on my local workspace, and I have
Okay.
done some changes to that workspace, and I've built the code now. So
Okay.
the target folder is generated.
Okay.
So now when I do a Git operations like git add and git commit or any
Okay.
other Git operations, my
Okay.
target folder should not be considered.
Okay.
Okay, like suppose
Okay.
if I add git, if I do a git add and git commit, my
Mhm.
target folder should not be
Got it.
considered. So
Got it.
how
Yeah.
how can you achieve that?
So what I understand from your question, like basically, we have performed a Maven package, and the package has been created under the target folder, but that particular target folder should not be pushed into the GitHub
Yes,
repository. Okay, okay.
exactly.
So yeah, I think we have a .git ignore file where we can mention the whatever the files. I mean, it's like a if you want to prevent that particular files or folders into the repository, we have to define those information in the .git ignore file by just defining the file names and folder names. So basically I will give here target folder as a name in the .git ignore file, so that while you pushing the changes to the GitHub repository, it will prevent the target folder.
Mm-hmm. What's the difference between git pull and git fetch?
So yeah, I think these two are basically commands in the Git. So basically, Git pull performs, two functions using a single command, as in it will fetch the changes into the basically from the remote branch to the local. It will apply to all the branches, but fetch only will pull the changes to the our local repository. It will not apply those changes into our local branches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you clone a specific branch in Git?
A specific branch you are asking, right?
Yes.
Okay. I think, yeah, we can give git space clone space hyphen b, and we have to give the branch name, which branch you want to clone particularly, and space hyphen hyphen single hyphen branch and repo URL.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when I execute a command mbn install, what all
Okay.
happens at the background? What the things happens? What it performs in the background? Can you explain that?
Uh, yeah, I think uh, mm, okay. Maven install is basically so one of the life cycle in our Maven concepts, like as we have validate, compile, test, package, verify. So install is also one of the basic build life cycle in the Maven. Basically, what does install MVN install do is it will install the package into the our local repository, where in .m2 repository folder. For basically, we use a dependency in other projects as well.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So what all the settings you need before running mbn deploy?
Uh, I think, yeah, I think we have a setting.xml when you install Maven. By default, setting.xml also will be get installed in our local machine. So basically, in the setting.xml file, we will like let's say like deploy means I will consider I want to deploy my package or artifact to the Nexus repository. So that information, that server information, I will be provide in the setting.xml. So as soon as you run the command mv and deploy, your command will refer, I mean, it will communicate with your dot setting XML file, whatever the Nexus credentials you have provided. So that will authenticate to the Nexus server and it will get deploy the packages to the server.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So why does maven take much more time when compared to second execution in the first execution?
Uh,
You got my
Yeah,
point,
yeah,
or
yeah.
you
I
want me
got
to?
your point. Yeah, yeah, I got your point. So basically, first time when you execute, it will take a lot of time because it's because of for the first time, it required a lot of dependencies as far as I understand. So it will get downloaded and it will install in our local repository. When we run the first time, when we perform Maven commands, it will take a lot of time to get the required dependencies from the central repository to our local repository. But the second time when you perform the same command, then it will refer from the dependency from the local repository and it will get the things easier compared
Okay.
to the first time. Yeah.
Okay. So how do you present the working folder in Linux?
You want present working directory or folder?
The
Present working
direct
folder.
directory or folder is the same, right?
Actually, directory is a different. Okay, you are asking folder, right?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So actually, for the present working directory, we can give directly pwd command. But present working folder, we have another command which is base space in double quotes dollar capital letters in double quotes we have to give dollar pwd. So by giving this command, we can get the present working folder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm. So how do you copy files from your local Windows machine to cloud-based Linux machines?
Uh, Okay, local Windows to cloud Linux machine, right? Yeah, I think I can use a PSCP command. Basically, in order to copy any files from our Windows machine to the Linux-based machine, I can use a PSC command. I will let me say this command syntax: PSCP space and the file information, and you have to give the host URL and the target information.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm. So why we need ad hoc Ansible commands, and have you used any time like come across that scenario?
Yes, basically I have used edo commands to in order to perform a single task actually. It's yeah, I have performed many times. I mean, edo command is a basically it's a quick and easy to get the task to be done easily.
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing is we cannot reuse that edo commands.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So have you come across that scenario anytime?
Yes, like suppose let's say I can give like Ansible all. All is all the host, whatever the host I want to call, and space hyphen I, and I can also give that host mission and hyphen m ping, so that it will try to ping to that host mission.
Okay. So
Yeah.
if I need a detailed logs on executing Ansible playbook, okay, what option I need to use it?
Uh, Detail logs. You want to display the logs?
Yes, I need a detailed logs on executing play Ansible playbooks.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh,
So what option I need to use there?
okay. Okay, Ansible. Okay, Ansible hyphen playbook and hyphen I host and the playbook name space hyphen VVVV. By giving this command, we can get the logs. Ansible
Hyphen.
hyphen playbook,
Okay.
Ansible hyphen playbook hyphen I and the host space and then Ansible name playbook name playbook name space hyphen VVVV 4 V's. By giving this command, we can get the logs. what
Okay.
are what are the which server it is connecting, what are the files we are performing, everything it will be displayed as a logs. Yeah.
Hmm. So what is Ansible.cfg file?
Basically it is a main configuration file when you get install Ansible in your mission. So under this we will have all the details of root information, um, setup information, everything will be available in the ansible.configuration file.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what all modules have you worked on, and what module have you used for getting a file from node to the master?
I think there are a lot of modules are available in the Ansible. Like I would say, copy, fetch, debug, get, uh, expect,
Mm-hmm.
template, command shell. These are all modules we use. Uh, and what was your second question? What did you ask?
Which module you will use for getting a file from node to the master?
Node to the master, I can use fetch command, fetch module.
Okay. So here, so suppose let's say I have a playbook, okay, which has 5 tasks in a playbook. Okay,
Okay.
I have a playbook which has 5 tasks in it. Okay, so first 2 should run on the local machine, and the other 3 tasks should run on the node machine. So what should I do there?
Okay, you have a 5 task in a playbook, and first two should be run, and the three should be run on other node. I think in this case, I
No,
would
no, no,
use
no,
like
no, no. Just
okay,
hold on, hold on. I have a playbook which has 5 tasks in it. Okay,
right,
the
correct.
first 2 tasks should run on my local machine,
Okay,
and
got it.
other 3 tasks should run on the node.
Got it, got it. So you have 5 tasks.
Mm,
First two should be run in your local mission, and the
mm,
three should be run on node mission. Yeah, I
yes.
think here I can use the multiple playbook. In multiple playbook, I can define first in the first phase, I will specify my host, a local host mission where the task should be run. And in the next phase, I will have the node mission information where it will perform the other 3 tasks in that node mission. So I can use a multiple playbook.
Mm,
Yeah.
So how do you save only last 5 builds of your Jenkins shop?
Last 5 builds.
Hmm.
There is actually settings in the configuration in the Jenkins job. I think you need to go to the job and we need to go to the configure Jenkins configuration, and
Mm,
in the general section when you see on the top tabs, first is the general tab. So in the general tab you need to select a discard old builds. So there you have to give 5 as a like maximum builds to be kept. So that by giving that option, you can save the last 5 builds of your Jenkins job.
Okay. So why we need multi-branch pipeline?
Multi-branch pipeline. So multi-branch pipeline basically it will basically enable like multiple different I mean in each branch when you have the Jenkins file, right, uh, in basically in multi branches, like what I understand, in each branch you will have to maintain your Jenkins file. In that you will have your specific environment script. So as soon as your branch changes is done, that Jenkins job will get a trigger using that branch, and it will validate your changes and it will get deployed to the respective environment. So by giving the multi-branch pipeline, each branch you will have the separate Jenkins file and it will perform the task.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you forget your Jenkins password, how will you log in?
Uh, okay. I can answer this question in only in Linux. I never worked on the Windows. Can I answer in
Yeah,
Linux?
yeah. You can.
Yeah, I think we have to go to the Jenkins home folder, like dot Jenkins in our mission, and in the under the dot Jenkins folder, we have a config.xml file. There you need to modify true as a false. Just when you install Jenkins, it will be there true. You need to change as a false. So from the next time, you it won't ask your login credentials. You can directly access your Jenkins dashboard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but after that, basically, once you modified that file, you need to restart your Jenkins server. I mean, you need to kill that process, the Jenkins, the running the process of Jenkins. You need to kill in the Linux machine, and you need to run again, like by giving Jenkins-jar Jenkins.var. By giving this command, uh, it will reinstall it and it will open the dashboard without asking any credentials.
So can you tell me any best three practices of Docker?
Uh, Best three practices of Docker. Mm, One way we can use a Docker file, and one way we can use like a Docker compose, and mm, we can also define multi-staging in multi-stage builds to remove our build steps. Yeah, I would say these three.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what is the difference between Docker stop and Docker kill?
Stop. Basically, stop is the container which you are running currently. In order to stop that container, we'll give the stop Docker. By giving Docker stop, you can stop that container. Kill is completely your. It will not at all run on any other mission. You are completely killing that container mission by giving that Docker kill command.
Okay.
Stop means
So
you can rerun, you can start that container whenever you want, but kill you cannot. You cannot once you kill the container, you cannot run it.
okay,
That's the
okay,
only difference I could say. Yeah.
okay. So what's the command for listing the containers which state is already exited?
Uh, Sir, could you please repeat your question?
What is the command we use
Okay.
to list the containers which state is exited already?
Okay, you mean to say whatever the exited
Yes,
containers you want me
exactly.
to give the list it out. Okay, I
Yes.
can give. Okay, yeah. Docker space ps space hyphen a space hyphen f status equal to exited. By giving this command, whatever the exited containers, it will give the list out of those information.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So what command we use to clean up the Docker host?
Clean up the host entire. Okay,
Yes,
we can give. Yeah.
suppose say deleting the stopped containers,
Okay.
unused networks and all. So etc. etc. So yeah.
Okay, information including man images also, right? So
Yes.
yeah, I think we can give Docker, yeah, Docker space system space prune, prune.
Mm-hmm.
By giving this command, it will delete entire thing. thing.
Okay. What version of Docker you're using?
Currently, I'm using 19.03.
Is there any specific reason you're using that version, particular version?
Uh, Actually, this has been installed. I mean, when I joined in this project, the
Mm-hmm.
version is already, we have upgraded to 19.03. Earlier, it was like 18 dot something 09. So we have migrated, we have upgraded to 19.03. So there is no specific reason like that. So we are keep upgrading based on the customer requirement.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can we have a multiple command in Docker file?
You mean CMD?
Yeah.
Yes, we can have multiple CMDs keywords in the Docker file, but I think there is no use because if even if you give multiple CMDs, Docker file only consider the last you give the CMD, it will consider it. The last command, the last CMD only it will consider it.
Okay. So are you familiar with Docker Swarm and Docker Compose?
Uh, yes, yes.
Mm-hmm. So can
I
we
think
have
the
a
Docker Swarm, yeah, yeah.
Okay, go on, go on.
Actually, Docker Swarm is similar to your Kubernetes, basically. Um, I mean, basically, I can say Docker Swarm is a container orchestration tool, which means like you can manage your multiple containers to deploy your when you deploying your application, you can deploy to your multiple containers and across the multiple host machine. Like where in Docker Compose, I would say it's we are actually using the YAML file to configure your application services. So composing also you can multi, in a multi-container architecture we can use the Docker Compose uh, scripts. Yeah, like that.
Okay. So can we have multiple containers in a pod?
Uh, Pod is this Kubernetes?
Yes.
Uh, Actually, okay, yes, we can have multiple containers in a pod. Uh,
Okay. What is liveliness and readiness probe?
Sorry, no idea.
Have you worked on any Kubernetes monitoring?
Uh, for Kubernetes monitoring, currently we are using Prometheus and Grafana.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So can we deploy a pod on particular node?
Yes, we can deploy the pod on particular nodes. Yeah, we can deploy. We can specify the pod where you want to deploy your node. We can give that the pod information and all. It will deploy your application on particular node.
Okay. Okay. Uh, yeah, that's all, Naresh, I have for you now. So, do you have any questions for me?
No, Rohit, I'm good. I don't have any questions from my side.
Okay, okay, Naresh. It's nice talking to you. Okay. Yeah, we'll get back to you. Okay, fine.
Thank you, Rohit. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks for your time. Bye.